A new parliament, a new India, another tryst with destiny. The inauguration of India's new parliament building on May 28th by Prime Minister Narendra Modi will mark an epochal moment in a long historical arc that traces its beginnings to the earliest republics in the land, the 16 Mahajanapadas of Buddhist times. In a sense, the 64,500 square feet, rupees 1200 crore facility, which traces the sacred geometry of a triangle and seats 1244 parliamentarians, signifies both beginnings as well as continuity. It speaks of India as the cradle of democracy, when the earliest recorded assemblies of Janas and tribes took place, and at the same time it says this is where New India is headed. The new building, situated right next to the old Parliament House, inaugurated in 1927, is also the novel in another aspect. It will give entire generations the chance to say, I am one of the first Indians to see the birth of a new parliament. There are other implications as well. The structure pays tribute to ancient India, while another pointing to the country's ambitious of self-reliance and the role it plays in the global order. This meeting of ancient and modern is most apparent in how the architect responsible for the project, Bimal Patel, has woven in cultural, historical and spiritual details with ultra-modern tech. And what exactly are these details? And what is the design philosophy that went into the making of India's new Parliament House? There are two main elements that Bimal Patel and his team put in place as the design foundation: the national flower and the national bird. The architect explains that his team settled on the peacock as the theme of Lok Sabha and the lotus as the motif for the Rajya Sabha. With this in mind, the lower house has been designed in such a way that its interiors appear light green from a distance, but as you get closer to the speaker's chair, the colors darken, exactly like a peacock's feather. Both houses will be lit by beams of natural light, filtering in through intricate jali work inscribed with the verses from the Constitution. Other than national symbols, the designers have relied on Sanatan traditions and Vastu principles while installing the various objects that parliamentarians will encounter. The building's 6 entrances will be guarded by statues of auspicious animals: an elephant, a horse, a swan, an eagle, a makara and a shardula, both of which are mythical creatures said to represent unity and diversity. Other than this, the building will have 6 granite statues of freedom fighters and those who wrote the Constitution. The designers have also made space for 4 galleries, each for the 2 houses, 3 ceremonial fairs, 3 Indian galleries and 1 Constitution gallery. And inside the 2 houses, under the feet of parliamentarians, lotus and peacock themed carpets woven by 900 weavers families of Badoi in Uttar Pradesh. Just outside in the courtyard will be a symbol of Indian wisdom, the banyan tree around which parliamentarians can congregate over coffee and snacks. The symbolism is capped off, quite literally, by a 9,500 kg bronze sculpture of the national symbol, the Sarnath lions, which sit on top of the new building. But symbolism is all very well as a signifier. What is really important is that the Parliament building serves the very practical function of being a structure that is functional and contains every amenity critical to the legislative business. That is one of the principal reasons the new building was built. Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, who was tasked with monitoring the progress of the project, said the intention wasn't just to replace a colonial era symbol with an emblem of self-reliance. The idea was also to replace an aging, crowded and inefficient building with one that was more in keeping with the contemporary and future needs. Space was the primary concern. The current Lok Sabha's designers Edwin Lutyens and Herbert Baker made room for 150 people. The building now houses 500 Member of Parliament. To say the lower house is cramped would be an understatement. It is also very old. The foundation stone was laid on February 12, 1921 and construction took place 6 years and cost Rs 83 lakh at that time. 6 years later, on January 18, the opening ceremony was performed by the then Governor General of India, Lord Irwin. The building turned 96 this year. The primary purpose of the new building is to solve these problems. Take seating for example. It is among the most basic and critical design problems that needed to be tackled. The seating as it exists now is a bench style. It is uncomfortable and most MPs find it difficult to move in and out when Parliament is in session. Patel's team came up with an ingenious solution after studying Parliament houses across the world. They came up with a two-seater arrangement so that Member of Parliaments can tuck away their files and move in and out without pushing against the backs of colleagues. In the behind-the-scenes video, Patel and his team of young designers and architects are seen demonstrating how the new seating system was developed and how it works. Low parliamentary attendance notwithstanding, it is extremely important that our lawmakers are comfortable seated while passing laws. There are other features built into the building which might not be immediately visible but are just as crucial as MP-friendly seating. The sound, for one. Patel has stressed in several interviews that the existing Parliament House has bad acoustics and an unreliable sound system. To fix this, the team hired a German physicist to study the problem and come up with a solution that has been integrated into the new building. And on May 28th, all of this, the ancient and modern, tradition and aspiration, will come together in a new Parliament House that Modi has said isn't just a building, but a witness to creation of Atmanirbhar Bharat.